Hello, 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 everybody. All right, here we go, folks. We've got our first tornado warning here across East Tennessee, so I'm just going to jump right into things and get things going. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning here for parts of East Tennessee, so let's get to work with that latest information from the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service is saying it is radar indicated, but a tornado warning and quarter-size hail is possible for folks joining us from parts of Campbell County and also Morgan County. I should say Scott County and Morgan County, and this runs until 6 o'clock. The current time is now 5:19, so we want to keep you up to date on that. Let's dive into the details on the situation. It's just to the north of the Sunbright area. Again, we have a tornado warning that has just been issued by the National Weather Service in Morristown. Remember, this is not in a tornado watch area, but it is an area that we've been talking about all day long about the potential for severe storms to move their way on through. We do have that tornado watch that continues for Fentress and Cumberland County that runs until 9 o'clock Central Time. So if you are joining us from the Huntsville, Oneida area, more so Huntsville, and anybody right along Highway 27 just north of Sunbright, we'll call out some smaller towns. So we're talking about the Huffman community, Coal Hill, Elgin, Robbins. We're talking like Slick Rock and Hewitt area. So New River. If I called out those names in the parts of northern Morgan and southern Scott County, the National Weather Service has now issued a tornado warning for this area. So this is this thing that we've been talking about all day. I know. I was just actually recording a new update to pass along on social media when this just took effect. And now we're starting to get rotation on that storm system right there just outside of Sunbright. So let's look at the velocity products, and this is a sign that we have a rotating storm right there just to the north of Sunbright. So if you're joining us from Sunbright in Morgan County, right along Highway 27, you need to head to shelter immediately. The National Weather Service is also talking about other places like Rugby, Rugby State Park, Smoky Junction, Deer Lodge, Honey Creek State Park, Norma, Elgin, Robbins, Slick Rock, and Sunbright are all in these areas. Take cover now, move to the interior parts of your house, to a basement area where we will continue to monitor how this is moving. Now, these are typically tracking to the northeast about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Let's see what the speed is on this one. Hail size could be upwards of a quarter, which is the size of 1 inch in diameter. This is tracking to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So 50 miles per hour, it's tracking to the northeast, just outside of the Sunbright area. Morgan and Scott County, you need to take shelter immediately as the National Weather Service has a radar-indicated tornado warning just outside of Sunbright here at this hour. When you look at the radar picture, you've got some pretty good hail associated with that system as well. But again, we are getting rotation associated with this storm right now just to the north of Sunbright. So fire away on the chat. Let me know what's going on in your area. I know Cody's lives up in Scott County, and he's calling out some folks here on social media. So thank you, Cody, for calling out folks. Steffi640 says she wants winter back. Well, here we go, folks. So again, a tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service. When you look at the big picture, these storms have been really slow to move and really slow to develop. National Weather Service in Nashville has been talking about that all morning long, all day long. The atmosphere, listen, they launched weather balloons at around 1 o'clock this afternoon, noon to 1, and the atmosphere is primed. We have a primed atmosphere. And so when we talk about severe weather and we talk about the impacts that severe weather could make on us, I always talk about baking a cake. It is like baking a cake or putting together a taco, right? And so with that, you have to have all the ingredients to come together. And while we may have bought all the ingredients at the grocery store to make a cake, if you don't have an oven to make the cake, then you're not going to get a cake, right? And so that's exactly how severe weather works. And so that's why we've been watching it. The atmosphere is primed for severe weather. So again, if you're joining us from places like Sunbright, also along Highway 27, this is going to move its way into the mountainous regions of Morgan County here, but a tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service at this hour. So let me go ahead and send out a push alert to folks joining us from the app itself, as we will continue to talk about this, but I need to get that information out to folks who are joining us from this community at this hour. So give me just one moment, and then I'll leave that on the screen for you right now. But again, the tornado warning has been issued for places in Scott County and also Morgan County. So let me get this on the map here. Hopefully, folks were aware of that if they have the East Tennessee Weather app. But let's see here. Let me just go right here. Right there. All right. Let me just send out this push alert to the folks who are joining us from that community. All right, folks. Here we go. Again, it's 5:24 right now. So this is the story that we've been talking about. So folks that have been like anticipating this all day long, this is really what we need to watch for closely. So we do have some rotation showing up right now in the Sunbright community. Actually, let me switch to another product here real quick. When you look at your shear markers. So this is a spin in the atmosphere. What does the spin look like? How does it all play out? What are we looking at? Do we have any hail showing up? Yeah, we have the possibility of some hail showing up out of this storm system as well. Not to mention, you can see how this storm has been rotating as it came out of the western sections of Morgan County and now working its way through the the Highway 27 corridor. So all these lines that you see right there on the map, all this is showing you rotation from this cell that has been working its way through the area. So when you look at the radar, and let me loop this here over the last 15 minutes or so, we'll do 30-minute loop to keep you up to date on how this is all moving over time. Let me clear that out. So again, this storm is showing signs of rotation just to the west of Sunbright. It's moved its way north of Sunbright. And now Sunbright, you're likely in the clear right now, but it is going to continue to track its way to the north and northeast. This storm is, again, moving about 50 miles per hour. So these storms will continue to move very quickly to the north and northeast. And so you don't have a lot of time to take cover if you are in a tornado warned or severe thunderstorm warned storm. But again, we are going to be talking about that here at this hour. So make sure you stay on top of the weather situation as we head through the rest of the day today. We'll go through the spin and highlight exactly where. Just the general idea, this is tracking to the north and northeast. Let me redo that at 50 miles per hour. And so as it does so, it's going to put other folks and other locations in the path of this storm. So there's our path right there, folks. So again, when you look at it, we're talking about places like Coal Hill. It's now 5:26, so about 5:30. Elgin is going to be moving into your area at about 5:34. 5:32, excuse me. Robbins at about 5:34. Slick Rock 5:36. Winona at 5:42, and Huntsville at about 5:42 as well. So places along and in this path: New River, Robbins, Elgin, Coal Hill, Slick Rock, Cordell, Jeffers, and Huntsville in Scott County. We have a rotating storm just to your south and west that will continue to work its way to the north and northeast at 50 miles per hour. Let me put that on this side of the screen. So the rotation right now, or the little bit of rotation anyways, is going to be just to the north of the Sunbright community. So we're talking places right in this area where we do have a little bit of rotation showing up. Now, this is Doppler estimated, but enough to produce a tornado warning. And so there it is. That's the rotation right there. Whenever you see the red and the green. So green is going to be toward the radar. You know, the radar is in Morristown, so green's going to be toward the radar. Red's away from the radar, and that's when you get that rotation around this supercell thunderstorm that is developing. These are the ones that I was talking about earlier this morning and through the day today. Some of those individual cells, if they can tap into the atmosphere that is primed and conducive to produce severe weather, that's exactly what we're going to see, and that's exactly what's happening out there right now. When I show you the big picture pattern, we are looking at a lot more activity off to our west and southwest. So let me just show you the big picture radar here for just a moment. Because that's the storm. You see just one little cell moving its way out of Morgan County into Scott County. And so, okay, so we have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. So this is now a confirmed tornado on the ground. Let's see here. Let's see what the National Weather Service is saying here at this hour. I repeat, a tornado is on the ground. Take cover now and move to a basement or interior room. So a tornado is being reported on the ground just north of Sunbright right now. So we're going to stay on top of this storm at this hour. So a tornado is on the ground just north of Sunbright in Morgan County, moving its way into southern Scott County. So anybody along Highway 27 north of Sunbright that runs through Scott County towards Huntsville and Oneida, you need to take cover immediately. We do have reports of a tornado, a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. Let me send out that push alert so we can get everybody up to date on what's going on around East Tennessee. I got to get this information out here, folks. So, again, we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground in Scott County. And this is exactly what I'm talking about as the atmosphere is primed for severe weather. So, hold on one second. Okay, let me send this push alert out here so folks can be on top of the weather situation. Okay, you're going to get a push alert here. Tornado on the ground. Okay, there we go. Got to notify people, right? Got to let everyone know exactly what is going on in the community. Hopefully, if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, you got that push notification from the National Weather Service saying that a tornado is on the ground, but a confirmed tornado. So that's what that purple box represents, is a tornado on the ground right now in Morgan County and moving its way into Scott County here at this hour. Get more information from the National Weather Service. Let me switch to another product here, folks. This will give us a good idea of how this is all playing out. So when I look at the velocity product, we do have the spin in the atmosphere. So, but I'll look at our shear product, and that's exactly so. This is the product I have with the computer system I have from the Barron Weather Computer. And this is an in-house product that you're not going to get anywhere else. And this shows us spin in the atmosphere. Let's see, debris not showing up right now. So again, we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now showing up. So if you're joining us from places like I'm guessing it's Huguet, Slick Rock, Cordell, New River, Winona, Robbins, Elgin, a confirmed tornado right now moving its way out of Morgan County into Scott County. This tornado warning right now runs until 6 o'clock. It's now 5:31. If you have any questions, fire away on the chat. If you have any information that you can pass along to me so I can pass along to everybody else, let me know exactly what's going on in your community. And let me just take this full. Let's radar full. There we go. You need to be able to see that on the screen. So I need to update that as well. So a confirmed tornado on the ground. Okay. So I'm in the Winfield area, 20 minutes from Huntsville Part right now, and it's just raining, says Cody. Thank you, Cody, for that report. I do appreciate it. Very calm right now in West Oneida. Oneida, I think you're going to be fine. It's a little bit further to our south or to your south, but Oneida should be fine, but you need to stay on top of the weather situation in Huntsville. So Huntsville, this confirmed tornado on the ground is just to your south and west. If you were to measure it, let's get the information from the Barron Weather Computer. And again, the storm is moving about 40 miles an hour to the east-northeast. The cloud tops at about 27,000 feet. 80% probability that we have some hail out of that, 60% severe hail. Hail size could be 1.25 inches. And the BTI level right now is a 2.8. So that's one thing that you're going to learn with East Tennessee weather. We've got new tools in our tool shed that can really help lead us to information about what's going on the screen. And the BTI goes up to a number 10. 10 being the worst, 1 being the least, right? But a BTI of a 2.8 right now on this storm that's moving its way just off to the east of Highway 27. It is working its way towards Newton, Winona, Cordell, Jeffers, Dean, Montgomery. If you know any of these communities, stay weather alert as we continue to track this. And then it's going to work its way towards the I-75 corridor. It's going to be places like Winona here in about 7 minutes. Hewitt at about 5:36, so you got about 3 minutes. So if you're in any of these areas right now, you need to take cover immediately as we have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. Let's see. We are in Caryville. It's going north of us. I will be keeping touch base with you. Thank you very much, Tammy Kitt. What is the timeline for the storm arrival in Hamblen County? I'll get you up to date on that here in a little bit, Jessica. Right now, we're going to stay with this confirmed tornado on the ground. So Dina K, hopefully you're seeing that information there on your screen about the path of the tornado. Dina says, hey, what is the path of the tornado in Oneida, Scott County? I do think that it's going to be a little bit further to the south of Oneida. Let me move this map a little bit. So again, we will continue to see this and track this. So the National Weather Service is saying confirmed tornado on the ground. And that's the latest information that we have. It is moving to the northeast at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. Put that up there. So we do have a confirmed tornado. We've got about 14 lightning strikes in this vantage point right now, but I'm going to keep it on that spin product right now because that lets us know exactly what's going on. I'll switch to a couple products here just temporarily. You can see the radar product. Now, it's not your classic signature for a tornado, but we do have the biggest and heaviest rain right now and the possibility of hail moving into New River and into Huntsville. So Huntsville, you're probably getting ready. Well, you're just... We'll be able to say Newton and Winona, so just south of Huntsville. But Huntsville, you're getting ready to get hammered with some heavy rain and the possibility of some hail. When you look at the hail product, you can see how the hail's been moving its way on through the area. When you look at the shear product, that really gives us an indication. And notice this rotating box. Okay, so that's an indication that we do have rotation within that storm. Again, these are new products that you're going to see with East Tennessee weather. You're going to see confirmed tornado warnings. You're going to see rotation. You're going to see shear products that you've never seen before, letting us know that we have spin in the atmosphere. And these are great products to keep us up to date on exactly what's going on. The rest of our community is under, Fentress and Scott County are under a tornado watch. This is outside of the tornado watch as it stands right now. Let's see. So now the National Weather Service is saying tornado damage threat considerable. Hail 1.5 inches in diameter for Campbell and Morgan, Scott County. So if you're joining us from Morgan, Campbell, or Scott County, this is a particularly very dangerous situation. You need to take cover now. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 8 miles southwest of Huntsville or 13 miles north of Wartburg, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour right now. So again, a confirmed tornado and a dangerous situation is happening right now. It's just crossed out of Morgan County, and so now it is in Scott County. So Morgan County, you are safe for right now, but folks joining us from Scott County, so Huntsville, take cover. Oneida, take cover. You're not in the tornado warning right now, but you're going to be close to it. So Highway 27 is pretty much in the clear right now, but other highways to be concerned about would be Paint Rock Road. We also have Baker Highway that runs right into the Huntsville community. We have, let's see, an Adele Road, places like Newton and Winona, all within this area, along with Cordell. So this is where we're getting rotation right now, showing up with this storm. So that's coming in from our base relative velocity product, and so that lets us know that we have spin in the atmosphere. And that's right there. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit more intense rotation showing up in Hewitt and Slick Rock. So Cordell and Winona, you need to take cover immediately, along with Newtown and Huntsville and the Jeffers community. All right, let's see what else you got going on here, folks. Tatum says, tornado in Sunbury heading towards Huntsville. Yep, we got it. Thank you very much, Tatum. I appreciate that. I'll get to work with other places. How's UT campus looking? So far, so good. This is the only storm at hand across the area as I expand the view. And I'll switch you over to the radar products with the National Weather Service. We'll just clear some of this out here. So again, that is literally the only storm in East Tennessee right now. That is the only storm. But that lets us know that the atmosphere is conducive and prime for severe weather to be popping up. All right, so that is the only storm at hand. So everybody else, we're A-okay for now. Steffi640 on YouTube says, is this an all-nighter, do you think? I think this is going to be going all the way through midnight. Now, I think as we get closer to 10 to midnight tonight, I think the atmosphere will start to quiet down. But it's something that we are going to continue to monitor as this... Listen, the atmosphere is primed. We've been talking about it. We have all the parameters coming together. And so that's really going to be what we're watching. We have our jet stream that's moving its way on in. We've got our upper level energy. We have our cold front. We have our low pressure up in Ohio. We have a very unstable and warm and humid atmosphere. Dew points have climbed into the low to mid 60s. That is very unstable. Not to mention we've had temperatures pushing close to 80 degrees here throughout the day today. Now, we haven't had a ton of sunshine for most areas, but we definitely have a primed atmosphere for producing severe weather. And that's exactly what we're looking at right now. Thank you for helping me out and answering questions for everybody on the chat. Eric. Roane County is doing just fine so far, so nothing going on in Roane County. It is literally only Scott County as we speak. So this storm is now moving its way towards Huntsville. Let me get this. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground near Huntsville. Let me get more information from the National Weather Service as they continue to all right, I'm going to get this on the screen here, folks. So we have video of this. I'm going to pull this up on the chat. So hold on one second. We're going to pull this up here in just one moment. But we have video coming in now from Sunbright. So this is video from Sunbright. Let's get that up on the screen so you can see it. Let's see here. We'll do this. We'll do this. All right, here we go. You ready, folks? This is the video coming in just now with the from the National Weather Service on their chat. This is coming in from Sunbright. We're going to watch this together. I've not seen this yet. I'm not quite sure if you can hear that. I don't know if there's any cussing in there, so I apologize if there is. But we're going to hang on to this for just a little bit. All right, you can kind of see the base of the cloud right there, the base of the rotation. You see how you start to get those striations in the clouds? Here it comes. So this is the tornado warning, confirmed tornado on the ground, now moving its way into Scott County. If there's any cussing in there, I apologize, folks. I'm watching this live with you. And we still have a lot of rotations showing up right now just south of Huntsville. So Huntsville, you need to take cover immediately. Places like Winona, Cordell, Jeffers, Norma, Dean, Montgomery. If I called out your area, you need to take cover immediately. If you live along Baker Highway or Interstate 75, this is going to continue to track its way through the rugged terrain into Scott County. You can see the rotation. Look at that rotation with that. Now, obviously, let me just say this. This goes without saying. We wouldn't have this video without this gentleman getting it, but this is not what you want to do. Please don't put yourself in harm's way. There it is. You can see the rotation right there. I don't even know if you can hear the sound on that. I can hear it on my end. I'm not quite sure if you can hear it on your end. A new tornado warning is going to be coming out to extend that tornado warning, says the National Weather Service. This is coming out very soon. So I'll highlight that new tornado warning here in just a moment. Incredible video, guys. Incredible video. This is insane. This just goes to show, even though we're not in a tornado watch right now, in Scott County, the atmosphere is primed. And this lets us know what could be happening as we head through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. It's 5:43 in the evening right now. I guess you don't hear the sound on your end, so I apologize. I have sound on my end, but it's still going. It's still going. It just destroyed part of Sunbright Mall. He said it just destroyed part of Sunbright Mall, it sounds like, is what they're saying in the video. They're going to go off and help some folks. Whoo! All right, let's go back to the radar here, folks. Back to the radar. All right, so this is where we're talking about. That was in Sunbright. That video came right there from Sunbright along Highway 27. It has now moved its way north and northeast. It's tracking to the northeast at about 30 to 45 miles per hour, and we have a lot of rotation showing up with that. Let me get this turned off here. All right, so confirmed tornado has been shown on the ground outside of Sunbright. All right, folks. So again, this is the only storm. If you're joining us all over East Tennessee, this is the only storm that we have ongoing at this hour, is that confirmed tornado. Now, there are more storms that are getting ready to fire up north of Cookeville, working their way towards the Fentress County area. So let me take the radar in Nashville. Look at all the weather back off to our west and southwest. This all of this energy is going to continue to slide its way to the north and northeast. And so these are the storms that we need to watch. Now, we don't have any confirmed tornadoes. We don't even have any severe thunderstorm warnings to our south and west right now, but the atmosphere is definitely primed. Okay, so now there's that new extension of the tornado warning. So now the new extension of the tornado warning coming out. Apparently there's some damage at Schubert's Funeral Home in... One in, let's see, I'm not quite sure what that says. Let's see, the new warning coming out from the National Weather Service. This now new tornado warning that has a confirmed tornado on the ground is now been extended till 6:30. It is now currently 5:46. So there's the storm right there at hand. Let me switch to the radar product in Morristown. There we go. There's that storm we're talking about. Let's get the latest information from the weather system. Okay, so remember I was talking about those BTIs, right? The BTI, that number right there in the bottom of your screen, bottom left-hand side. The BTI went from a 2.8. It is now a 4.0. Hail's 100%. We're looking at the cloud tops to top out at about almost 30,000 feet. This storm is racing now to the east-northeast at 53 miles per hour. 53 miles per hour on that part of the storm. Still have a BTI of about a 4.0 right now in the storm just north of Cordell. So now this is where we have a confirmed tornado. So when you see the purple shaded polygon there, that means a confirmed tornado. A tornado warning would be red. A confirmed tornado is purple. All right, let's see if we have any information showing up on the chat right now. So again, this is the only storm at hand all over East Tennessee. There is no other storm right now. So Emily says, approximate time that the line starts to move its way into Knoxville. I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. If you stick with me, we'll go through the future cast. But again, from here on out, so it's 5:47. I said anytime after 3 o'clock today, stay weather alert. Between 4 and 6, it's really going to start to work its way onto the Cumberland Plateau. I think as we get closer to from 7 to about 9 o'clock, it's going to really start to work its way into the valley locations. And I think from 9 till midnight, it starts to slowly work its way off to the mountain counties, upper East Tennessee. But again, we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now, where we do have a lot of spin showing up with the atmosphere. That's what that rotating disk represents. It represents the spin that we have in the atmosphere. This is also an all in-house product that lets us know. The other product that I have that you've never seen before, at least from any time I've ever been on TV, is what we have, this shear product. This is an in-house Barron shear product. This is the only thing, I mean, you'll get this right here with East Tennessee weather. What we need to watch for is a little S shape. If we ever get a little S shape out of that, that means we have a very large rotating storm. But right now, that just lets us know, good indication that we have a lot of rotation showing up. This is north of Dean, east of Jeffers, and northeast of Norma right now. So places like Turkey Creek, Pioneer, Buckeye, Titus, Royal Blue. I'm calling out some names here on the map here. Stanfill, Elk Valley. So you're in the path of this storm, Elk Valley. Other locations. So this is going to move north of La Follette. but it is getting ready to track its way over the I-75 corridor. So places along I-75 right now, Elk Valley, again, a little bit further north, we've got Newcomb, Oswego, Jellicoe, all inside this tornado warning as well. Let's call out some other cities here within this tornado warning. So there's the rotation right now. So here's some other cities. So Straight Fork, 550. It's now 549. So Straight Fork, take cover. Pioneer, take cover. 554 is when the storm could potentially be in your area. Terry Creek, 555. We've got Royal Blue, 556. Elk Valley at 601. Right now it's 549. Broyles at 602. So these are all the storms in the path of this confirmed tornado right now. And it's going to work its way towards southern Kentucky. So folks joining us from southern Kentucky, again, you need to keep an eye on the storm. This is the only storm that we have right now at hand, but incredible video coming through. I'm going to do some stuff here real quick just on the fly so you can watch that video again. Give me 1 second here. I'm just going to try to manipulate this a little bit. We have a lot of cameras around East Tennessee, by the way. So we got a lot of cameras around East Tennessee. So as the weather goes downhill across town, you'll be able to see that live there on those cameras as we continue to dive into the details on how this all plays out. Right now, we're going to be nowcasting. We've done the forecasting today. The storms will continue to move on in. And we have a primed atmosphere, a juicy atmosphere. We've got high dew points. We've got a lot of instability. Got a strong cold front. Listen, it's April 2nd, and it's time, folks. We're a little delayed on severe weather season. We haven't had a whole lot. Thank goodness for that. But now we do. And now we're diving into the details on severe weather as we continue to progress through severe weather season. Switch back to the radar product, expand the view. Again, we don't have any other storms around East Tennessee. We'll go down to the high top radar here for a second and see what's a little bit further to our south and southwest. So we don't have any severe weather to our south and southwest right now, but as these storms start to move into a little bit more of a primed atmosphere, we'll continue to track these, and hopefully we don't see any more. All right, so the National Weather Service continues for the tornado threat and that tornado warning. They said at 5:48, so it's 5:51. 5:48, it confirmed a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 7 miles east of Huntsville or 11 miles southeast of Oneida, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. This is a very dangerous situation. You need to take cover immediately. It has been a confirmed tornado through the video and the public. You are in a life-threatening situation if you are in the path of this tornado. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without the shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. You got to get out of those mobile homes or manufactured homes. If you are in a mobile home or a manufactured home, you got to get out immediately. You got to go find some other place to be. Let's come back to that tornado and highlight exactly what's going on here, because there's nothing else going on around East Tennessee right now. A lot of information there on the screen, so we'll try to clean this up for you. So this is a confirmed tornado warning that has extended until 6:30. It stretches all the way into Campbell County. So we've got places like Campbell County. We also have places like Scott County. And this all runs until 6:30. This one lonely cell. This is what I was talking about earlier this morning. When you get those single cells, those rogue cells, if you will, they can tap into their own energy. They're not fighting for energy from other storms around the area. So this is why this storm is going to be a lot stronger than if we get a line of thunderstorms later on today. I have quite a bit of shear in the atmosphere. You can see how this storm has been spinning. It's been spinning all the way out of just western Morgan County and all the way into Scott County, and now starting to work its way into southern Campbell County. I should say the western and central parts of Campbell County. We do have some hail that's been showing up with this product as well, with this storm, I should say. So the rotation on the storm is going to be a little bit further to our south. So there's your rotation. So the rotation is right here, right here. Getting ready to cross over I-75. So right there, just past, so Pioneer, Buckeye, Titus, Royal Blue, Turley, all in the thick of it right now. So as we track a little bit further to the northeast, of course, we don't have a ton of communities up through here. It is a lot more rural, but we'll just dive into this one. This is tracking to the northeast at 35 miles per hour, according to the National Weather Service. So here's your latest update. Latest update. Broyles, 604. It's now 554. Then it's going to work its way towards Habersham. Duff, north of La Follette. This is going to go north of La Follette. Granny Barb, I'm using the Baron radar. It's going to be one of the best products you can get. One of the best radars you can get. They are known as a radar company, and that's what East Tennessee Weather has. So La Follette Speedwell, hopefully you've been catching up and staying with us, Tamara. Thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate it. Tom Perry, one of Witcher's Weather Watchers, who might join us on the program later on today if we need him. But thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate that. Saying the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center is going to issue a tornado watch for the rest of East Tennessee. You'll see that populate, and as it does so on the screen, I will keep you up to date on that. So we've got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. We got a lot of shear. Shear is winds changing speed and direction with height. So hopefully we get a little bit of weakening with this system. It looks like it's starting to congeal a little bit, but again, we got a lot of rotation. So sometimes these storms cycle through. You'll get some rotation. You'll get a little hook on the radar. Then they'll kind of cycle up. Turns into just a normal thunderstorm. The tornado will lift a little bit, and then we can get those tornadoes to kind of cycle back down. So thunderstorms cycle. Remember, this is an engine. When I talk to kids and go to schools, I talk about how thunderstorms are just like our moms and dads' cars. You need fuel, right? So we've got heat, instability, moisture. That's our fuel, right? The engine itself is the storm, and then you got the rain and the colder wind on the backside of that. That's the exhaust. If you cut off any one of those, the storm's going to shut off. And so a storm is just like our cars and the engines that drive our cars. But Habersham, about 6:15. It's now 5:56. Checking that time here so we can keep you up to date. But again, Jellicoe, Stinking Creek, Broyles, Morley, and Duff, all in the path of this storm system right now. Roane County is fine for right now. Terry Creek. Sorry, Madison, Terry Creek, not Turkey Creek. I live near Turkey Creek. I apologize. I'm in Oliver Springs. Hope it doesn't hit here. Oliver Springs, you're doing just fine. Let's see. Mary Beth, you're traveling from Nashville to Maynardville, so stay on top of the situation. Obviously, hopefully you got the push alert from the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, download it as you drive through Middle Tennessee into East Tennessee. You'll get notifications on any sort of severe weather because we do have a lot of strong storms still back off to our west. As I take the big picture and show you what it looks like with the national radar, you'll see how these storms. So if you're leaving Nashville, you're going to run into storms along Interstate 40. And these are the storms that we're going to watch closely because as it moves its way into a little bit more of a conducive environment. Listen, Tom was just saying that the National Weather Service is going to be issuing a tornado watch for the rest of East Tennessee. So let me get some more information on that. All right, so tornado warning still is in effect for Campbell and Scott County here at this hour. So tornado warning is still in effect for Campbell and Scott County. It is just to the east of downtown Huntsville. So it's really, let's see, so it's out of Scott County. So Scott County, it looks like you're in the clear, but notice back to our west. We still have storms firing back up into Fentress County in a tornado conducive environment. That's where the tornado watch is currently in place. Remember, that tornado watch is in place until 10 o'clock tonight, Eastern Daylight Time. That would be 9 o'clock Central Daylight Time for you folks joining us from Fentress and Cumberland County. No tornado watch right now for the rest of East Tennessee so far, but that may be changing here real soon. So we've got some power line involvement near that funeral home in Sunbright that got hit by the tornado. This is reported by an amateur radio or operators on the scene. So it looks like power line's down. We're going to take some power outages. Speaking of which, so we got for power outages around the area. No power outages showing up as of right now. So that's good news, but likely not being reported as of right now as well. Let's look at the radar. So we still have some spin in the atmosphere showing up on the radar right now. This is now crossed over I-75, north of La Follette, north of Jacksboro, north of Caryville. So this is now north of Caryville, east of I-75, paralleling I-75. As I-75 kind of curves to the north and northeast, so it's kind of paralleling I-75. But what we're looking at right now is this area. So just east of I-75. Here's I-75 running north and south all the way up into Kentucky. So this is east of I-75 right now. So this is the only storm that we have taking shape right now in all of East Tennessee, but there is a lot more activity to our west and southwest, and we're going to continue to monitor that as we head through the rest of the afternoon. Or rest of the evening. I guess it's evening time now, isn't it, folks? Hold on, Tom. I'll get with you here, buddy. Tornado watch is coming out shortly for most of our forecast area. So it looks like a tornado watch is going to be issued for most of East Tennessee. And that's coming from the National Weather Service, and they're getting ready to issue that. So I'll let you know when that gets issued, and we'll highlight that here in just a moment. Let me make that a bit bigger there for you. I'm going to update the crawl here, folks. You know, this is the time of the night here, by the way. And as soon as this starts to die down, we'll talk about some other aspects of what we can anticipate for the rest of the evening, anyways. But this is the time that, listen, we're getting home from work, okay? So everything's fine for the evening commute. If you're getting ready to leave work, everything's fine for most locations except for Campbell County, where this confirmed tornado is going to continue to produce spin right there just to the north of La Follette. This is the area of rotation that we're looking at. And so everybody else is doing just fine so far, and that's where the rotation is, folks. And you can see how this has been rotating right along Highway 27 through southern and central Scott County into Campbell County. And so the atmosphere is primed. And so we'll walk through the rest of the forecast, the rest of the evening here in just a moment as soon as we get done with this storm. But right now, we got to stay on top of this storm. So anybody joining us, make sure that you tag them in social media. Make sure you shoot them a quick text message. If you're going to be traveling, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, download it today. You'll get all notifications. The cool thing is with the East Tennessee Weather app is you'll not just get notifications for severe weather, okay? You're going to get notifications when lightning is within 15 miles. That's your first indication that storms are moving in, right? And so you'll get lightning. So then you can go to the radar. Then you can see how things are populating. Then you can see if we're updating live weather, giving you live weather updates based on the severity of the storms. But we do have a confirmed tornado that has been reported on the ground. Still have quite a bit of rotation showing up when you're looking at the velocity. So what we're looking at right now is you got to find out where the radar is, okay? So the radar, because winds are moving towards and away from the radar is right here. That's the center of the, you can't see that in the bottom. There's the rest of the tornado watch. All right, folks. So tornado watch has now been issued for all, let's see, pretty much all of East Tennessee. All right, so the tornado watch has now been issued for pretty much all of East Tennessee. And let's make sure that we're still on. Yep, we're still on. Okay. All right, so tornado watch has now been issued for all of East Tennessee. It runs until 2 a.m. 2 a.m. past midnight. So again, we have now a tornado warning and a confirmed tornado showing up in, let me take the radar off, in in Campbell County. This started off in Sunbright, moved its way through the Cumberland Mountains, just north of Caryville, north of La Follette, and where we're starting to get the majority of our spin is just north of La Follette. That's getting ready to cross over. So Habersham, take cover immediately. If you're joining us from Habersham, you need to take cover immediately. Places like Westbourne, White Oak, Wynn, Russell Fork, Duff, all folks in the path of spin and a supercell thunderstorm that's going to continue to work its way to the northeast. This is tracking to the northeast. Let's see if we got that spin still showing up. Tracking to the northeast here's all the information from the Barron Weather Computer. So now we have a BTI of a 4.0. It was up to a 4.8. It started off as a 2.1. Now we're down to a 4.0, but it still lets us know that we have spin, and this is a dangerous situation moving its way through central Campbell County, working its way toward Claiborne County. So Claiborne County, you need to stay on top of this weather situation. It's tracking to the northeast at 43 miles per hour. So Stinking Creek, 609. 609 in Stinking Creek. It's now 606. Habersham, 614. I've got a lot of viewers showing up that join me every single day from Habersham and the Claiborne County and area. So Habersham, take cover immediately. Go to your safe spot. You need to head to your safe spot immediately. Guess you can't see that on the screen. Let me take myself out of here. There we go. So we'll bring that back in the map. So there we go. There's all the information on your screen. So Habersham, 614. It's now 607. Westbourne at 617. White Oak at 618. And again, no other storms to speak of right now. So this has been a confirmed tornado. I'll go back to the video here in just a moment. So again, La Follette, Cotulla, Antres, Highcliffe, Habersham. Anybody joining us along Highway 25. So this would be Highway 25. So anywhere between La Follette and Jellicoe, La Follette and Morley. Anybody in La Follette, between La Follette and Morley, and right around the Habersham area, you need to take cover immediately. What I was trying to tell you earlier is you got to look and see where the radar is. The radar is to the south and east of this storm. So you have red is away. Think of cars and the headlights. You have green towards, like a green light. And this is your rotation right there on your screen. That's what we're watching right now. Still has a BTI of 4.0, but we got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. Look at the shear product. So Stinking Creek, you need to take cover immediately. Habersham, you need to take cover immediately. Same with you folks in Cotulla, Chaska, Holton, Highcliffe, Antres. So the tornado warning for East Central Scott County has been allowed to expire, has been canceled. So Scott County has been canceled right now. So that warning will soon fade away, but right now we're just talking Campbell County, and that's going to work its way towards Claiborne County. If you have the East Tennessee Weather app, you just got notified through the app that a tornado watch has been issued for all of East Tennessee. So if you know anybody in Claiborne County or Campbell County, shoot them a quick text message. Let them know what's going on. If they don't have the app, they don't know what's going on. But this is a storm that we've been watching. We have had reports of a confirmed tornado. I'll show you that video coming up here in just a second. Actually, I'll just do this. Watch this. We're going to do this on the fly here, folks. Give me 1 second. That's not going to work. Hold on 1 second. We're going to get this on. I'm going to show you that tornado. So again, we still have rotation showing up just north of La Follette, south of Jellicoe. Habersham, you need to take cover. This is the storm I'm talking about. This is the video coming in from Sunbright in Morgan County. Sunbright in Morgan County. Take a look. So that's video coming in from Morgan County near Sunbright. Right now, we are looking at the storm in Campbell County, just south of Jellicoe, north of La Follette. And so you're going to see some pretty incredible video showing up here in just a moment. Again, we're going to keep an eye on this storm as it's moving its way through just south of Jellicoe. So Jellicoe, you're probably in the clear. La Follette, you're in the clear. But places that need to take cover is Habersham. Habersham, you need to take cover right now. Still have some rotation showing up. So winds away and winds toward the radar. And so this is the storm that we're talking about in Campbell County, north of La Follette. So that video is what you're looking at is the same storm that is currently showing up north of La Follette and south of Jellicoe. Same storm system holding itself together. That lets us know that the atmosphere is very conducive, very primed. We've got the spin. We've got the winds changing direction and speed with height. That's what creates rotating thunderstorms. Lila says, I was the only weather app to send her a notification during the tornado on the ground. I'm glad you have the app, Lila. If the warnings are not showing up on your weather app, I will show you how to do that here in just a moment. If the warnings, you make sure that your notifications are turned on through your cell phone, not within the app itself, but go to the cell phone itself and make sure notifications are turned on. It is crossing 25W north of La Follette. Yep, that's right, Steve Ellis. Touchdown. That's video coming in from Sunbright in Morgan County. I don't think you need to evacuate any campgrounds right now in Sevierville. I think you're fine for now, but I definitely would stay on top of the weather before you head off to bed. So that video is coming out of Sunbright in Morgan County. We have had reports of some damage in Morgan County. All right, so a tornado warning is still in effect until 6:30 for northeastern Campbell County. And what we're looking at here on the screen is the rotation with this storm. This is what we need to watch right here, crossing over 25W right now. So Habersham, you should be in your safe spot right now. You need to be in your safe spot right this second. Let me get off this here. All right. So Habersham, you need to be in your safe spot along with you folks in Remy, Cotulla, Wynn, Russell Fork, and Westbourne. These are the areas that need to be in a safe spot as of right now. You need to take shelter immediately. So the spin is moving its way over, just right over Habersham. I mean, this is not great. This is Highway 25, South Highway 25. Savannah, the app is called East TN Weather. All one word. Search in the Google Play Store or the App Store. I'll post it right now on the chat if you'd like. I'm going to post that right now. The information, the links are just now coming through on the chat right now. So go ahead and click on the, if you have an iPhone or an Android, I've posted both those links for you to download the app. Dwayne says, any chance that they'll lose strength after dark? Yes, typically we do lose some instability after we get past sunset. Usually we're starting to get into the prime time for severe weather because we've heated up the atmosphere all day long. Storm systems coming on in. It's just like, how the oceans take all summer long to warm up, and, you get the peak heating, and hurricane season peaks out in September 10th, I think it is. That's exactly how severe weather works. We heat up the atmosphere all day. We get our dew points to climb, our temperatures to climb. And so we always get storms that really, not always, but mostly get storms that are producing severe weather in the evening hours as we get closer to sundown. And so these storms are still going to pack a punch as we get into the evening hours. So if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, I've posted the links on the chat right now. So scroll through the chat, whether it be on the YouTube, Facebook. I will show you how to do that, Lisa. But make sure you just go into your notifications on your cell phone first, and make sure that your notifications are turned on for East Tennessee weather. Because a lot of times when you download an app, you just say no. You don't want any of that. You don't want any of that. But the problem is when you're talking about a weather app that's going to keep you up to date on everything, that's something that you need to have on all the time. So I'll show you that here in a second. But first things first, if you're not getting notifications through the East Tennessee Weather app, first things first, go to your cell phone and make sure that your cell phone has notifications turned on. Here's our spin in the atmosphere. See all that green showing up? That's spin in the atmosphere. This is a product that we're going to get with the Barron Weather Computer. Our BTI now is a 6.7. This is not good news. So you need to take cover immediately, and we'll see what the National Weather Service does if they're going to extend that tornado warning into Claiborne County. We do have a tornado watch, just an FYI for those of you that may just now be tuning in. Tornado watch. Look at how expansive this tornado watch, all the way up into the Ohio Valley, into northern Mississippi, Alabama, and it does include East Tennessee. We've got a couple of confirmed tornadoes, one up just north of Lexington and northeast of Louisville, but as well as Campbell County getting ready to push its way into Claiborne County. So we're getting ready to cross over the border into Claiborne County, and then so Harrogate, Tazewell, well, Harrogate more likely, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Our BTI now is a 6.7. So here are some locations on the map that you need to be that need to take cover immediately. We're talking about places like Holton. It's 618. So if you're not in your safe shelter right now, your safe place in Holton, you need to be in your safe space right now. Tackett Creek, 620. Anthrace, 621. Egan, 622. Clairfield, 624. Hamblin Town, 626. Valley Creek, 627. Kidwell, 628. Pearl, 628. And Pruden, about 629. So within the next 10 minutes, if you're within any of these cities I just called out, you need to be in your safe spot right now. That would be an interior part of your house. That would be a basement if you have a basement. That would not be in a mobile home or a manufactured home. Listen, if you get caught outside, you need to lie in the low-lying areas. You need to be down in a low-lying area. If you don't have a safe spot, listen, if you're driving in your car, you don't need to be trying to outrun this storm. That's not going to happen. You need to get out of your car. Never hide underneath an overpass. That is more dangerous than hiding outside of the overpass because it's a funnel effect. So I'm getting some reports right now. Oh, man. Let me see if I can't get that. This is a cool view from McLeod Mountain. Let's see if I can get that up on screen for you. Not going to be able to get that up right away. Got some cool pictures coming through. By the way, if you send photos to the East Tennessee Weather app under Witcher's Pictures, I can pull those up on camera a lot faster. So if you are on the East Tennessee Weather app and you have photos, send them through the Witcher's Pictures link. I'll show you how to do that as well here coming up in just a little bit. I don't have any photos coming through the app quite yet. But we have had a confirmed tornado that moved its way out of Sunbright in Morgan County, moved its way through Campbell County. Now it's getting ready to cross over the border into Claiborne County. So let's zoom in. So we're talking places right there along, what highway is this? I don't know what highway that is. The highway that runs from White Oak through Tackett Creek, Anthrace, and Egan. That's right on the border of Claiborne County. That's where we have the greatest spin showing up. Looks like we're losing a little bit of that spin, which is great news. We don't want to keep that going. But that is the only storm at hand right now around East Tennessee. And it's starting to work its way into Claiborne County and then into southeastern Kentucky. There's another stronger cell just going to be clipping northern Fentress County, so north of Jamestown along Highway 127. This is south of Byrdstown. No severe thunderstorm warning right now, but definitely a stronger storm. Now it's far from the radar, so we're shooting way up in the clouds, but definitely a storm to watch closely. When you look at the national radar, we can see how these storms are really firing up back further to our south and southwest. Look at the high top radar. Got a lot of energy that's going to be working its way out of Huntsville. By the way, if you happen to be joining us from southern Middle Tennessee and northern Alabama, go check out Tennessee Valley Weather. They're doing exactly what I'm doing over in southern Middle Tennessee to cover southern Middle Tennessee. We're talking about Lawrenceburg, Pulaski area, south of Nashville, north Alabama, including just outside of the Huntsville area. So we have some stronger storms moving out of that area, so you need to stay weather alert. If you have friends and family in the southern Middle Tennessee, northern Alabama, tell them to watch Tennessee Valley Weather, as they are going to continue to watch those storms very, very closely, and they'll do live weather updates as well. Come to the Nashville radar. So again, all these storms to our south and west, we're going to be watching closely. It's 6:23 right now. We do still have a tornado warning and a confirmed tornado warning that has been showing up just to it's currently to the east and southeast of Jellicoe. So the National Weather Service now is including Claiborne County in that tornado warning. That's going to populate on the screen here in just a moment. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Claiborne County in East Tennessee, also northeastern Campbell County. So northeastern Campbell, northwestern Claiborne County. At 6:22, it's now 6:23. At 6:22, A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles south of Wilkerson or 10 miles northeast of La Follette, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. And there's that new warning. There's that new warning showing up right now. So this new warning for Claiborne County, the tornado warning is now in effect until 7:15. Again, it's 6:24. Tornado and quarter-size hail are the main hazards. It is radar indicated currently. It'll be near Harrogate at 7 o'clock. Other locations in this storm are going to be White Oak, Arthur, Clairfield, and Cumberland Gap. Beautiful part of East Tennessee, by the way. All right, they're going to throw the chat up there. We got radar on the top right-hand side of the screen. We've got a live view. That's a live camera view right now from West Knoxville. So over there at Fox Road Marina, and no issue showing up there. We do have mostly cloudy skies. It's warm, it's breezy, it's muggy, but definitely an active weather day, or it's not been very active so far here locally. But again, we do have that tornado warning showing up right now for Claiborne and Campbell County that runs until 7:15 this evening. A buddy of mine just texted me and said, did I say something about Tennessee Valley weather? I did. For storms out of southern Middle Tennessee and northern Alabama. If you happen to have friends or family there, if you're from there, you want to keep up on top of the weather situation in southern Middle Tennessee, northern Alabama, follow my friends over there called Tennessee Valley Weather. They do exactly what I do in southern Middle Tennessee for northern Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee. Krista's doing it right. Krista Hilla. She's joining us from YouTube. She says, I have East Tennessee weather on my computer, Tennessee Valley weather on my cell phone, and Upper Cumberland on the TV at this hour. She is on top of the weather situation. Good job, Krista. Cody, I'm not asleep, buddy. So Campbell County is still ending at 6:30, or was that extended? That has been extended. However, with that said, when you look at the county lines, it is just for northeastern Campbell County. Okay, so we're talking about places like White Oak. So let's look at the shear product. So the greatest rotation right now, this is not good. There's that S shape I was talking about, folks. There's our rotation. Let's see. Where's the radar? Well, we're kind of losing. Let's see what the BTI is on that. BTI is 3.9, so that's good. That means that the storm is starting to weaken. We're getting a little bit more broad rotation associated with that, but we still have quite a bit of spin in the atmosphere. You can see how this storm started off to our west and southwest. Look at the storm. The one that we've been tracking started right there in Morgan County, well, further to the west, but really held together as it moved its way through Scott County, into Campbell County, and now into Claiborne County. This is the path of that one single storm. Look at some other products with this storm, because not only do we get, of course, we can look at the storm itself. We can look at velocity. We can look at the shear. We can look at the couplets. These are all products. These are all ingredients and things that we use with Doppler radar. The shear is a product with my radar here in town. It shows you all the swath of that spinning in the atmosphere, and also shows you some hail. So maybe if you got some hail photos, upload those through the East Tennessee Weather app under Witcher's Pictures, and I'll get them right to my computer, and I can get them on the screen pretty quickly. But what I also wanted to look at is rainfall rate. So when you look at the storms, how heavy is that rain? Well, we got some 6.5 inches per hour. Now, that means if that storm sat in that area for 1 hour, you'd receive about 6.5 inches of rainfall. A little bit further to the west, rainfall rates are continuing to be not nearly as much, but still have anywhere from the heaviest rain now is about 6.5 inches of rain per hour. So big old downpours right now. Come to the radar, and you can see where the heaviest rain is falling currently. Do I cover Cleveland, Tennessee? I cover all of East Tennessee, Jenna. I go from Chattanooga to Tri-Cities and everywhere in between. And so does the East Tennessee Weather app. Anthony's a good guy, Eric. He does a great job. I'll talk about the rest of East Tennessee once these tornado warnings come to an end. So Brittany's, a lot of folks are just now tuning in, so I'll keep you posted on that here in a moment. Bristol, Virginia is okay so far. So Brittany, what time of the storm is going to be hitting Sweetwater? We're talking probably closer to 7 to 9, 7 to 10 o'clock, maybe even a little bit later than that. Laura, I think you'll be fine for a baseball game, possibly, 8:15. You'll have to watch it closely. We'll see how these storms progress as they move their way out of Middle Tennessee. Will this be over before 12 a.m. in Athens? Well, the tornado watch is extended until 2 o'clock in the morning. So we have a tornado watch now for all of East Tennessee until 2 o'clock in the morning. Is it following Highway 63? Let me take off the warnings here for a second. Is that Highway 63 that runs through Hamlintown, Clairfield, Buffalo Road? So the strongest cell's now getting ready. So it's in extreme northwestern Campbell County and northeastern Campbell County, northwestern Claiborne County. That's where the storm is right now. It's going to be tracking its way into Kentucky. So folks joining us from Kentucky, we do have a strong storm system that is a tornado warning. Now they've extended that to a severe thunderstorm warning for Kentucky. Severe thunderstorm warning for Kentucky. Tornado warning continues for Claiborne County in East Tennessee. And also parts of Campbell County, although the strongest storm is now crossing over the border from Campbell County into Claiborne County. You can see just the back edge of that is extreme northeastern Campbell County is the storm right now. So that's being north of Anthrace, north of Egan, right over Buffalo Road. So again, places of concern: Clairfield, Hamlintown, Kidwell, Fond, as you get into Kentucky. All right. So that storm is starting to fade away a little bit. So I want to do a couple of other things here. Of course, we've got the stream right there on the channel. And so you can see what other folks are saying. You can reply to them through the channel as well. Now, of course, if you're on YouTube, you can only reply to YouTubers. If you're on my Mike Witcher TV Facebook page, you can only reply to Mike Witcher TV Facebook people. And the same goes with the East Tennessee Weather Facebook page, along with Twitter as well. Got 567 folks joining us on Twitter. Welcome, Twitter, or X. Thanks for joining us. All right, so let's expand the view. That storm's going to be slowly winding down, pushing into southeastern Kentucky. Not that I'm not worried about you folks in southeastern Kentucky, but I want to expand the view and show you this tornado watches. The tornado watches extend all the way up into Ohio, down into northern Mississippi and Alabama, all the way from West Tennessee through Middle Tennessee and all of East Tennessee, except the extreme northeastern sections of East Tennessee, and I believe that's Carter County. And so all of East Tennessee is underneath a tornado watch. This tornado watch goes all the way until 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so a tornado watch for East Tennessee until 2 o'clock in the morning. So let's go ahead and walk you through some details, shall we? Let's go ahead and give you all the latest information. So here's the tornado watch again until 2 o'clock in the morning, encompassing all of East Tennessee. Don't mind the banner. I'll change that here in a little bit. Remember, this is the area that's been of concern. This is the area that the Storm Prediction Center has issued the level 3 risk for severe weather. And so, it's been a waiting game. I told my wife earlier today, I was like, these kind of events as a meteorologist, you kind of anticipate all day long. Okay, why aren't the storms here? Why aren't the storms here? Why aren't the storms here? It's the talk of town. Everybody's talking about it. Oh yeah, it's only 3:30 in the afternoon. Never mind. Don't worry about that. We'll worry about it later when it's actually expected to happen. And so it's 6:34 right now. These storms will continue to ramp up throughout the rest of the evening. Now, we are still under a level 3 risk for severe storms. The tornado risk, if you were with me earlier, I posted that on social media, but it's been extended a little bit further to the east to include Claiborne, Union, Knox, down in the Loudon, and down the I-75 corridor through Chattanooga in the Southern Valley. So that's from the Storm Prediction Center. Everybody has a risk for hail. Everybody has a risk for damaging winds. And the tornadoes will be on the isolated side. So when you look at your storm threats through the rest of the evening, wind damage is going to be the main threat. And so please don't concentrate on just tornadoes, okay? Please don't. Tornadoes are smaller, considering that we get a lot more wind damage here in East Tennessee. The trees are starting to bloom. You got a lot more surface area to blow and knock trees down. So again, wind damage is going to be the main threat. Winds up to upwards of 60, 70, 80 miles per hour can't be ruled out with some of these storms. Tornado threats on the low end, but still isolated in nature. And we've already had our tornado warning, and we've already had a confirmed tornado into Morgan County. Hail. We still could see the possibility of 1 inch to 1.25 inch size hail, maybe even a little bit larger amounts, larger hail possible as these storms really continue to fire up. But again, we are going to lose some daytime heating. And as we lose daytime heating, as the sun goes down, the atmosphere tries to quiet down. But the problem is we've got so many dynamics in the atmosphere that, let's see. All right, the National Weather Service says the tornado threat has diminished and the tornado warning has been canceled. However, hail and damaging winds remain possible, and the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for the rest of the area. So let's go back to our radar here for just a second. So there's that severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be extended up into Kentucky. So as it stands right now, all of East Tennessee, let me make sure we're on the right radar. All of East Tennessee, we don't have any warnings in place right now. We don't have any so we don't have any warnings. We have a strong cell just north of Jamestown in Fentress County. Well said, Julie. Well said. Just reading what's on the chat there, which you can see on the screen. So again, we have to watch what's going on to our west and southwest. So when you look at the radar from Nashville, you can see how we still have quite a bit of activity to our west and southwest. The cold front's still to our west. Cold front's still expected to swing its way on through, and that's what's going to pop off these showers. All right, so let's go back to the forecast as we forecast for the rest of the afternoon and evening. We talked about our storm threats, okay? So there are storm threats. Let's go back to a different view. There we go. So there are storm threats. Let's take that full. Take me off screen. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we've had a confirmed tornado on the ground earlier today, just about an hour ago or so, for places around Sunbright in Morgan County. It moved its way up into Scott County, Campbell, and also Claiborne County. It is weakened. We don't have any warnings out there right now, but as we get off to dinner, as we head off to bed, as we head off to baseball games or softball games later on this evening, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, I recommend you downloading it. And there's a couple reasons why. First of all, it's 100% free. I don't think you should ever have to pay for weather. Weather is free. It's on our cell phones. But if you cannot concentrate on your cell phone's weather for any sort of information except maybe just highs and lows and day parts on a normal benign day. But when severe weather happens, where are you going to go? East Tennessee Weather app, of course, right? So it's going to give you everything you need to know. You'll get push alerts for lightning when lightning is within 15 miles. That's a good indication that lightning is near you. Let's check it on the radar because storms are approaching. Okay, so lightning. You're going to get watches and warnings. You also have those products with the interactive radar. You have access to the 24-hour live stream, which is where we are populated right now, of course. And then, of course, you get your daily forecast updates from me every single day, Monday through Friday. Just kidding. 7 days a week. But it goes above and beyond that because not only do you have all that, but when you travel outside of East Tennessee, the app travels with you as long as you have your notifications turned on. And so make sure you check out the East Tennessee Weather app if you don't have that yet. It's 100% free. Just go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, and search East TN Weather, all one word. Look for the orange TN with a white lightning bolt, and it's going to be bring you everything you need to know. I try not to inundate you with a lot of push alerts. I try to give you the latest information and only inundate you with the information as needed. So again, I'll send you to the push alerts every once in a while if we have storms moving on through. All right, here's the storm system. Here's our in-house Futurecast model. So again, showing you the storms to our west and southwest. So as we get into the 7 o'clock hour, it's 6:39. Storms are going to continue to fire up to our west and southwest. We have that northeast to southwest orientation. So they'll work their way along the plateau again into the Central Valley. So at 6:39, probably about 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight, they'll start to work their way into Roane County, Morgan, Scott, Fentress, Anderson, down the I-75 corridor into Chattanooga, Cleveland, Soddy-Daisy, Dayton, and then continue to progress its way eastward. But it's going to be a slow mover. So if we can get this rain to pile up ahead of the cold front itself, it is going to produce a lot of rain. And so we need to watch out for the threat for some localized flooding and flash flooding as this swings its way through. The mountain counties, I think as we get closer to midnight and 2 a.m., probably not going to have a huge tornado threat, may transition to a heavy rain event. But again, we do have a tornado watch in place until 2 o'clock in the morning. So as we head off to bed, make sure your notifications turned on. If you don't have a NOAA weather radio, which is great, it's the voice of the National Weather Service when you're not paying attention, have that turned on. It stays quiet until you need to be notified of something. And so does the East Tennessee Weather app as well. This is technology world, my friends. We all have cell phones right there in our back pockets, right? So make sure you always have notifications turned on because I know a lot of times we turn them off because it can be of a nuisance. I get it. I do the same thing. Let's talk about the rest of the story, though, okay? So we don't have a lot of activity going on there right now. We'll likely pick up about an inch or more of rainfall. Flooding and flash flooding is still a possibility, along with all severe weather, severe weather, I should say. So damaging wind, large hail, isolated tornadoes still cannot be ruled out through midnight, through 2 o'clock in the morning. Then as we get past about 2 o'clock in the morning, as the storms start to wind on down, we're going to start to see some cooler air rush on in. Tomorrow's going to be a chilly day, my friends. Tomorrow, we're talking high temperatures, about 10 to 15 degrees below average. We're only going to be in the mid to upper 50s compared to the upper 70s and low 80s that we saw. And we're also talking about some instability showers to redevelop throughout the day tomorrow. So while we'll have a little bit of sunshine early on, here comes this ball of colder air and energy. And what that does is it provides us instability in the atmosphere. So watch as I progress through the afternoon. Anytime we get past lunchtime, these are what we get, little instability showers. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some pea-sized hail out of some of those storms tomorrow. Why? Because we have colder air aloft. Okay? And we can tap into that. With a little bit of instability, you can get some pea-sized hail to form. But no severe weather threat tomorrow. Just a couple of spotty showers, maybe a little bit of hail. We're going to continue to see those temperatures drop as we head into our Thursday and Friday with low temperatures down into the low 30s, low to mid 30s. So it's going to be cold for the rest of the week. And then we'll start to see things warm up a little bit into the upcoming weekend. If you happen to have any travel plans from here on out through the rest of our evening, here's our severe weather risk by the Storm Prediction Center. They did a very good job and nailed it very, very good, very well. All right, so here's our storm. We pick up our timeline at 6 o'clock. Let's run you through our future cast. Low pressure system up across the Great Lakes. Cold front extends a little bit further to the south. And that's really what's been driving the energy and the force for these storms so far. Well, we haven't seen a lot of storms so far, but the storms that will continue to develop through the rest of the evening and early overnight hours. And then watch these instability showers build in as that colder pocket of air swings its way through on the backside of the storm. And that's really going to be the story. So let's see. There's that pocket of cooler air that's going to settle its way into the area. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. All right, we got to get this on. Lee, did you upload that to the East Tennessee Weather app? Let's see. Lee Bliss just posted a photo. If you upload a photo through the East Tennessee Weather app, give me as much information as you possibly can. Let's see if I can get this on the screen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this on the screen. Let's do this. We've got some pretty significant damage showing up in Sunbright, Morgan County. I don't think. I bet I could do this. We're going to try something on the fly just so I can show you the image. Oh, I know what I can do. Watch this. All right, I'm going to try to show you an image coming out of Sunbright here in just a moment. Give me a second to save it. And bring it in. So let me go back to the radar so everyone knows what's going on. Let me try to do this on the fly. While we do that, I'm just going to bring back the radar. So don't go away, folks. Don't go away yet. Again, that's what's going on around our region. But I'm going to try to get you a photo that I just got uploaded to me. So you can see the damage coming out of Sunbright. Okay. Let's see if we can get this. Trying to get this on the screen for you so you all can see this damage coming in out of Sunbright. Oh, yeah, I'll take some water, buddy. Love you too, buddy. Well, I'm trying to get it for you here, my friends, but I'm not quite sure I'll be able to get it here in time. Let's see if we can do this. Here we go. Here we go, my friends. Okay, look at this damage coming in out of Sunbright. This is Sunbright storm damage from the tornado that moved its way on through. Look at that. Look at that, friends. Woo! That is crazy. That is nuts. And that's that confirmed tornado that moved out of Sunbright. We showed you the video. There is the images. There are the images. There is an image anyways coming out of Sunbright. Lee, thank you very much for passing that along. If you have any images like this, please upload them through the Witcher's Pictures link on the East Tennessee Weather app. It'll be a lot easier to bring to the page for everybody to see on the fly. All right, let's go to the chat here for a second. I'm just going to leave that on the screen so you can see. I'll minimize that a little bit. So that is a video that came, that's an image that came out of Sunbright. And I'm going to try to get you this video too. See if I can't get this to download here. Not quite sure I'll be able to download this one, but again, I can do this. That's not going to work. I'll get it for you here in a second. So that's an image coming out of Sunbright. And here is video of that same storm that came out of Sunbright. So this video right here, my friends, is that damage that came out of Sunbright. Mike, I'm not quite sure how strong that tornado was, but based on the damage, of course, the National Weather Service, it's at least an EF1. I would imagine that one was probably EF0, EF1, but hard to tell. I have to, that's why the National Weather Service goes out and surveys these storms. So they'll go out and survey that storm, but the video on your left is the result is from the storm on your left-hand side. Yeah, I heard about Sunbright. There is a funeral home in Sunbright with the sidewalk completely gone from the building. Crazy, huh, my friends? That's just crazy. We'll just do this. We'll take it full. I'll start it over for you folks. There we go. I'm starting that video over. Put that image on top. This image right here is associated with that storm. So you'll see that image right there in the bottom right-hand side of your screen is associated with this storm that started that moved its way right over Sunbright. Remember, tornado watch is in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. Tornado watch is in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. There are 0 storms per se for East Tennessee right now. 0 storms, no severe weather anyways. I do have a couple of showers showing up. We do have some rotation showing up north of Fentress County right now, actually. North of Fentress County. A little bit of rotation north Fentress County working its way into southern Kentucky. So places outside of Monticello, Kentucky. You need to stay weather alert. This is going to move its way out of Tennessee. Apparently nobody was in the building at the funeral home. Thank goodness for that. No injuries in Sunbright and no fatalities. Thank you very much, Julie. I appreciate you. Dwayne, I totally agree. The absolute power of an EF1 or EF2, nightmares for EF3s, 4s, and 5s. No doubt about that. Thank goodness we don't typically get those kind of storms. But, Julie, thanks so much for passing that information along. I do appreciate that. How worried should we be in Blount County with the storms coming? What should we expect, says Caitlin Helton. Caitlin, I would anticipate at least damaging winds. Let me move that image out of the way. Is that not nuts? Hearing thunder in Fountain City right now. Thank you very much. Reality of Second Life. Kat Watson says, thank God no injuries or fatalities. No doubt about that. We don't want any of that. Hey, Savannah, where is Maynardville? Maynardville, Tennessee? Where is that? I'm not quite sure what county is that, Savannah Bailey. Woo! That is crazy. Incredible footage coming in out of Sunbright in Morgan County. We're going to leave that on the screen. We'll show that a little bit later. All right. All right, my friends. Back to the radar we go. So again, nothing really going on right now around East Tennessee or much of our region. Not much going on right now, but there are still storms to our west and southwest, and those are the ones that we're going to watch closely as we head through the rest of our evening. So again, not much going on right now. It's just about 7 o'clock. We're probably going to take a break here in just a little bit. I will just keep the 24-hour weather channel. I'll probably shut it down, and I'll come back and send another push alert as I need to. But let's walk you through the forecast for those of you that are still on here. And folks are asking about, Monroe County. Savannah, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Now you're going to make me look it up. Oh, are you saying Maynardville? Not Maynardville. Sorry, Savannah. Maynardville. I do have a camera in Maynardville. But I think here, let's just walk you through the forecast, then we'll take a quick break. Supposed to go to a concert tonight. Thank you, Linda. I think Savannah means Maynardville. I think she does too. I had to look that one up for a second on the good old Google, going, what is she talking about? All right, let's re-rack from the top. I'll highlight everything that we're going to be talking about, and then we'll get you back to some normalcy here before we come back with more possible severe weather coverage. But right now we're in a lull, so we'll take a break here. And I'll just keep everything up and running with the East Tennessee Weather Channel. I'll keep everything up live running with the radar up, with it looping, and then you can kind of come back and see. But I'll send a push alert through the app itself if I am breaking in to do live severe weather coverage again. I will keep everything up running live until I need to come back into the studio and broadcast live, but I'll keep everything live, and then I'll send a push alert to let you know, hey, listen, he's back live. So you don't have to sit here and watch paint dry, because that's kind of how it is sometimes when you're watching and waiting for storms to fire up. All right, so let's recap for a second. Tornado watch in effect, not until 10 o'clock tonight, but until 2 o'clock in the morning. A tornado watch is in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. Change that on the fly so you all can get an up-to-date on that. All right, so tornado watch is in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning for all of East Tennessee. This is the area that the Storm Prediction Center, as I've been mentioning, has highlighted as that risk for severe storms. So we're under that level 3 risk by the Storm Prediction Center. When you break that down into different categories, the Central and Western Valley and the Cumberland Plateau has the greatest threat for isolated tornadoes. That's where we have a lot more instability, a lot more energy in the atmosphere. And of course, we'll see how things play out as the sun goes down, but the storm's going to be ramping up as it comes on in. So tornadoes a risk, hail's a risk, damaging winds is going to be a risk. Please don't concentrate just on tornadoes. Severe thunderstorms can be more destructive than tornadoes for us here in East Tennessee. Why? Because it covers a bigger swath of area. It covers a bigger area. You can get widespread winds of 80, 90, 100 miles per hour coming out of thunderstorms that will cause a lot more destruction than an isolated tornado. But tornadoes will spin up real quickly in an environment like this. So we're going to keep tornadoes on the low category, but isolated in nature. Winds are going to be up to 70, 80 miles per hour out of some of these storms if we can tap into that upper level energy, if these storms really redevelop throughout the rest of the evening. And that's why we have a tornado watch, right? We're talking about a medium category, moderate category for damaging hail. Hail could be the size of a quarter or even larger, 1 to 1.25 inch size hail. And isolated but localized flooding and or flash flooding because we have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. If you're just now tuning in, you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. Make sure you allow notifications, especially as we head off to bed. Make sure your cell phone's turned up and notifications are turned on, especially if you don't have a NOAA weather radio. So you need some sort of information to wake you up if you're heading off to bed. And the East Tennessee Weather app will do that. If I need to break in and do live severe weather coverage, don't worry. You don't need to get out of bed unless you need to get out of bed and take cover into an interior room, bathroom, closet, hallway, and or a basement. All right, so here's your futurecast. We'll pick up our timeline right there at 6 o'clock. Here's the storms. The storms are going to continue to start to get their act together and come through as the cold front comes through. So we're still waiting for that cold front. The cold front's still back to our west. So as we get into the 8, 9, 10 midnight hour, that's when the storms are really going to be blasting their way on through. Let's hope that the storms die down. We get the heavy rain. Sure, we're going to get some thunderstorms, but let's hope that we don't get any major wind damage or tornado damage as we head off to bed here tonight. Rainfall amounts anywhere from a quarter, 3/4 up to an inch to maybe even greater than an inch or two in some of those storms. And that's really going to be the story. The other side of the story, behind the storm system, is going to be a pocket of colder air that's going to swing its way on through. Here's the risk around our region, and it's all the way from the Great Lakes all the way down into northern Florida, is that risk for severe weather associated with this cold front that's moving its way through. So again, 6 o'clock tonight, as we head into the 10 o'clock hour, storms are pushing through East Tennessee, out of Middle Tennessee. They'll swing their way into North Carolina as we get into midnight to 2 a.m., and then from there, we're going to be watching tomorrow the colder air swinging on in. Instability showers will set up shop. We'll see some isolated afternoon showers. Can't rule out some small pea-sized hail out of some of those storms tomorrow, thanks to that pocket right there of colder air. That's right there at 5,000 feet in elevation. So that's where those clouds will be. We're not going to get a lot of vertical development with those clouds tomorrow, but they will produce some showers and the possibility of some pea-sized hail. And then tomorrow night and Thursday, maybe even a little bit of light snow expected across the highest peaks of the Smokies. All right, so your temperature trend, we're trending downward. So we're going to be in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, back in the 60s and 70s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But remember, we never can plant this early in the season because we're still looking at freezing and frosty conditions Thursday through Sunday. Well, really probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A hard freeze and quite a bit of widespread frost will be developing around the area. Out there right now, we don't have any activity for us here in East Tennessee. We do have some storms a little bit further to our west and southwest. As you look at the radar down into northern Alabama, these are the storms. Back in the Middle Tennessee, these are still the storms that we need to watch for. So it's 7 o'clock right now. These storms have a long ways to go. So we're going to take a quick break, go have some dinner, relax, make sure you charge your cell phones. Make sure you charge your laptops and computers so you can stay on top of the weather situation in case you need to take cover tonight after the sun goes down, after you go to bed. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to leave this on the screen. We're going to let this just play, but I will send a push notification through the East Tennessee Weather app. That's the only way I can send you a push notification. I can't do it on social media. I can't do it on Facebook. So you have to download the East Tennessee Weather app to let you know that I'm back on live doing live severe weather coverage. If I need to, I'll shut down the entire stream. I'll restart it if you get notified through Facebook. But again, the East Tennessee Weather app is going to be the best way to go as we head off to dinner, outdoor events here tonight, and also bedtime here tonight as well. So we sure hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for trying to stay up to date on the weather situation. I'm going to dive into the details. If you find out any more information from the tornado in Sunbright, Morgan County, Scott County, Claiborne, Campbell County, if you have any information, if you have any photos, tie me into a chat. Send me a message on social media. If you have any photos, upload those through the Witcher's Pictures link using the East Tennessee Weather app. The East Tennessee Weather app is 110% free, my friends. 110% free. It doesn't get much freer than that, does it? And speaking of which, for those of you that have not seen the East Tennessee Weather app, if you've not seen it yet, I will show you what it looks like here because the East Tennessee Weather app is going to be a great tool for you to stay on top of the weather situation tonight. So there it is. That's the East Tennessee Weather app. It's 100% free. You open it up. Where we are broadcasting live right now is right there with that 24-hour live weather channel link. So you can click on all these links. You have your forecast right there at the bottom. And then, of course, you have your interactive radar. Interactive radar is going to be a wealth of information. It gives you past and future radar. So watch this as I loop this. This is the current radar view. We've got some strong thunderstorms coming in out of Athens and just north of, I should say, Alabama. Athens, Alabama, north of Huntsville. But watch, it goes back 2 hours, pauses at the current hour, and then, well, once the app loads here in a second, got a lot of information going through here, it will go into a future cast of 2 hours. So it will be a great thing to have as we track storms later on this evening, so you can check out in bed. Let's see if it loads here. Let's see. There's your past radar of 2 hours. Pause at the current time. It's not loading. I got too many things going on with my computer, but it will load on your phone. I promise you that. So the East Tennessee Weather app, but make sure that you allow notifications for that. Quick little tip and trick. If you've never used the app before, Click on the orange TN with the white lightning bolt in the top left-hand side of the screen. That will take you back to the home page. We do have your daily forecast updates where I update constantly there. And of course, if you're looking for severe weather information, there's your Witcher's Picture. So if you have photos, click on the Witcher's Pictures link. You can take a photo from your cell phone right there or upload one from your cell phone. Write some information. It will come straight to my weather computer. I can populate it on live broadcasting coverage a lot quicker. And when you look at severe weather events, right now, there's nothing going on here in East Tennessee, but that would populate all of your severe weather events. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap things up here at this current time. We sure hope you have a great rest of your evening. Make sure you check back in as we continue to highlight what's going on for the rest of the night tonight. I'll come back probably in about another 30, 45 minutes or so to give you another weather update. I'll send a push alert through the East Tennessee weather app. So we sure hope you have a great night. I'm going to shut things down for now, but we'll see you back here real soon. In a second. In only a second, my friends. In only a second. Right? All right. We'll see you back here real soon, my friends.